I'm going to make a video here about these clutch fans and just how easy it is to get the clutch fan off with this tool. I was in AutoZone getting held up by an idiot, and I'm your Pennsylvania Dutch, sort of Amish, whatever I am. I'm broadcasting to you from my hillbilly mansion right next to the world's other biggest cesspool shithole Democrat-run city. With another helpful tip, we're going to cover wiring your own fuel pump, because we're going to pull a trick with this truck, and I want to share that trick with you. It's important. We have a lot of wind noise, so I'm going to try to speak to the camera, and I'm going to give you a demonstration. Now, I don't have one of those really excessively cute girlfriends, although I'd like one. I would take recommendations from you guys on YouTube. If you know somebody 40, 50-ish, good woman, really needs good company, and she can help me make videos and do automotive things, you really have to be into automobiles. And there's not that many women, they say they are, but when it comes to actually working on something and doing something like this, I'm trying to save you guys from, I had so many chunks taken out of my pitties when I didn't know about this trick. And one of the things I know about tricks like this is I race stock cars. When you race stock cars, you have to improvise. And this is one of the best improvisations I've cooked up yet. I'm going to show you without keep yakking, because I don't like that either when somebody yaks on in the video, especially about their personal life or whatever. But anyway, I would like one of those cute girlfriends that can hold a camera, help me make videos, exemplify things. This is a video you guys are going to cherish. It's this easy. There we go. Takes a little bit to get it off. Come on now. There we go. You're not going to do that with one of those homeowner, those cheap Chinese, whatever they are. They call them an air hammer, air chisel over at Lowe's or whatever. You're not going to do it with one of those underpowered things, because I don't care how much air pressure you pump up behind it on your air compressor, it does not have the snot of one of those snap-on. That reminds me of something. See the name on that? It was made in China. This had a red cover. I got this off of a Snap-on truck, folks. It had a red cover that said Snap-on on it. And a guy says to me, where I was working up the line, about taking the cover off. Watch this. I found Ingersoll Rand underneath it, made in China. $400. I can buy this over at Tractor Supply and the other one, because I bought another one. I have another look-alike in my box up where I moonlight. I bought it for $79 instead of $400. So I took a flaming arrow right through the wallet, right in the keister. Now, people like summertime fun. They like a project, but when you don't know what you're doing or about it, it discourages you from doing it. And good auto parts, they end up laying in the box. We have a hell of a cross breeze, so it's probably going to show up. I can't wait to get my external mic. I did order one, but I don't know if it fits this model camera, and even Kodak didn't. They don't specifically make one, but they gave me a suggestive one that might fit this camera. This is your pump. See how easy it is? There's your ground wire. There's your power wire, black and red. These are your for your fuel gauge. The other ones, and we're not using a fuel gauge. You see, Holly Ann, she has a rear fuel tank. The frame is a 1991, and it was set up for the front and rear tanks, okay? but it does not have all the instrumentation in the cab because the cab is 1988. I'm going to have fun with this when I go to the motor vehicle department and try to register this goddamn thing. Holy cow. Because I got 4 different serial numbers off this truck. I've got 2 different serials off the cab, and I've gotten 2 different serials off the frame. So this thing is definitely a home-built mutt. So that means I'm going to have to hardwire this. And you're going to have to, you can't just put direct power. You have to put a relay to that to step down the voltage and not jolt the pump alive. I lost my voice from this COVID, plus I still smoke. I'm desperately trying to stop. I don't think anything will stop me. Maybe when I'm dead, that's what's going to stop me. So you're going to need a relay. Now, Derek, Vice Grip Garage, I think even Kevin Brown, I watch his videos. I like Kevin. Mook, she's a cutie. I wish I had a woman child like that. She's a beautiful woman, really is. He has a nice life, and they fit together because she helps him religiously like that, and I admire a woman that does that. Anyway, you're going to need a relay, and they make better videos on this relay and how to hook it up, because one, you have to put direct power to one side of this relay, the other side has to be grounded, and the other side is going to be on a switch so I can turn this pump off when I have the other tank on. Now that should work theoretically the way it's wired. That will work according to my continuity testing, but that's not always the case. But it seems like it will work through the switch, so I won't have to do anything other than be able to wire that to turn that pump off when this one is running. So summertime fun, you get a lot of discouragements, and even here I might forget where these are marked, so I marked them on top, so when this thing's in the tank I know what I'm doing, because the plug that goes to this, that adapts to this, the wires are totally different color than these wires. And you see the wires on top, they turned black, blue, red, or you got black, blue, and 2 whites there. Your whites are necessarily your power wires. So when the wiring changes and this thing's in the tank, you got to mark the top of this. Okay? The sending unit is basically, it'll work. This really only has, although it has 4 pins, one of those pins is inert. Take it from a guy like me that doing things sometimes it's mind over matter. I've already went to bed sweating at night, didn't sleep well, got up the next day, and the shit that was in my mind, it went so easy. What I was doing was false fearing myself. I don't have an exact explanation. My mind works when I'm best at sleep. When I have to think something through, I have to make a decision, or I have to use aggression maybe to get something done or a point across. I think things through, at least I try to, before I act and do. And it disturbs my sleep, so I might have a different mind than other people. There's other people, they tell me they get up and deal with life one day at a time. I try to plan things. I try to be methodical. Maybe that's why I can pull the rabbits out of hats. I just pull rabbits right out of hats. I did get a haircut, by the way. All of them. So when you pull a bunny out of a hat, okay, it takes a lot of forethought. And I try to be thoughtful about what I'm doing and how I go about it. And some of it has saved me from mistakes, and some of it, like I said, it's just I didn't have to worry about that after all. Or I got the plug. There's times I went to bed and I couldn't get a plug loose the night before because I was worn out from all day. But you start fresh. I even sleep in sometimes. Like today, I slept an extra hour or 2. I think I was 2 hours past my normal time to get up. I didn't get up till almost 8 o'clock this morning. And that's unusual. I'm usually up at 0600, but this heat has me worn down. So when I'm thinking things through, I'm beating myself up. You don't have to do those things when you have knowledge. That's power. You can wire that fuel pump right in if you have to hardwire it. Now, another way to do that, like I said, you can put it, the power should go on your ignition side. There's only power to that relay when your ignition is on. The other thing is you still need a switch, because you got to be able to turn that pump off when the other one's running. Okay? Because I know, there's my squirrel. I don't have any peanuts today, buddy. My mom keeps buying these squirrels peanuts, and now they're sitting here asking me for more peanuts, like I'm going to pull them out of my butt. I got wildlife here. I have rabbits. They lay right here with me. I don't shoot the wildlife around here. I really don't. I don't hurt the wildlife. Like I said, I served in Iraq, saw so much blood. I'd just rather see the animals, even if they get to be a pain in the ass and beg for peanuts. But anyway, yeah, the other day I was coming out of the shop, and I see this thing come right down in front of me. He was hanging by his toes, the inside of his legs off the gutter, looking down at me, and he hits me on top of the hat. I want peanuts. I mean, what kind of animal I mean, they're supposed to be wild animals, but yet they're communicating with humans like that. So, all right, we got the fan off, and I showed you just how easy that is. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this video of taking that drag. You don't need all those tools. You need your pitties more than you need those tools, because they really chew up your knuckles when those wrenches slip. And half of them, they're ill-fitting Chinese garbage. They're thin. You don't get a real bite on the nut, and trying to hold that pulley still while it's on there, bullshit. Take that air chisel right off. Now, if you have a bad water pump, it could cause another problem. If your water pump, if the bearings or the bushings are weak. But you know what? I don't worry about that, because the tool is just as bad. You're pulling and tugging on the water pump, okay? Because I know I'm going to get that comment. I did get that comment from the guy that I actually showed this trick to not too long ago. You know, what about the bearing inside the... Well, you know what? If it's bad, pal. You tugging on it with that wrench and everything, tugging around on it, it's going to do the same damn thing. All right, that's enough, and I gave you guys your tip on those Ford fuel pumps. On this one, I'm using later model fuel pumps instead of lift pumps. I'm using regular fuel pumps, and I'm going to use the Summit. I believe it's a 3616 dash something. I could be wrong. I have a dozen parts yet to buy, and there's a dozen part numbers in my book. But anyway, I'm going to use their regulator, the Summit brand, to step the fuel pressure down on this. Yes, he's sitting there looking at me. He wants peanuts. I have to show you. Oh, he's going up the tree now. You see? Oh, there he is. Now he's going up the tree. He was sitting there begging. Okay. This is as far as we got. Our head's still not back. We needed valve springs. And if you want to put a cam in, and somebody overheated the engine like they did this, they put a brand new engine in with a shit radiator, overheated it, warped the head a little bit, and the valve springs, they were weak because of overheating the engine. I don't know how many times they were driving it like that, but we only had 50 pounds of spring, and when the tension on them is 80 pounds. That's what happens. So you can put a cam in this, put it back together the way it was, but when you get up to high speed, those valves are going to be floating. They're not going to be opening and closing. They're just going to be floating, because they don't have enough pressure to get closed again. So you're going to lose your power and defeat the purpose of putting a cam and stuff in it. So get your head done and put new valve springs when you buy these trucks. Don't just put a camshaft in it and say, hey, I got a cam. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Listen to me. Listen to me. You're not going to get the mileage, and the thing's going to be a real turkey at high end when those valves, the valves aren't closing it. They're just floating. Okay, I got to get back to work here in my mess. Thanks.